What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Russell Westbrook. Okay, his wife decided to go off on Dave McMenamin. He works as a NBA reporter, specifically on ESPN, but he's also in a relationship with Malika Andrews. Now, I've spoken about Malika Andrews before, but now y'all know where he gets his animated speaking from, because y'all know Malika Andrews is known for trying to be. She comes off as abrasive, but also tries to be more forceful in her conversations when she's especially when it comes to her black male co-hosts or people who she's on that show with. But she is somebody that I've spoken about, and they've been in a relationship. I don't know how long. But Russell Westbrook's wife is somebody who has probably seen Dave McMenamin, because he's known to say certain things a certain way. Now, she's defended Russell Westbrook before. Every time there's a situation, she's very vocal. So, it's almost like she's the one leading that family. It comes off as that sometimes. But that's how it is with a lot of these athletes' wives who speak out, right? They're very vocal. Russell, in his own way, can be out there saying things, but not the way that she does it. Okay, so let's get into this article here. According to Bro Bible, it says earlier this week, Russell Westbrook found himself traded for the third time in less than 4 years. His stint with the Lakers officially came to an end after he was traded to the Jazz ahead of the deadline. You know, he got a lot of blame. Russell Westbrook got a lot of blame for the play of the Lakers. I don't think it was all him. Chemistry just not good. Then you got a first-year coach on the team. LeBron James is LeBron James. He's going to be consistent, but the chemistry is just off. And that's, they don't look like the team they was when they won the championship in the bubble. It just looked more cohesive, more together. Maybe it was because they were in the bubble. They won that championship, but it ain't there. It ain't there. And Russell got a lot of pushback, a lot of blame. And I can understand the frustrations. But when you look at how many times he's been traded, people are going to look at him as being the problem. I just think that he's going to a lot of bad fits. I think he's went to a lot of bad fits. I don't think it's all him. He's just going to a lot of bad fits. Most basketball fans likely very aware of the guard's time in Los Angeles left plenty to be desired thanks to his inability to mesh with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, as well as the shooting issues that led to countless trolls referring to him as Westbrook. That really pissed him off. It pissed his wife off too when they were calling him Westbrook. He did, and he came off very thin-skinned with the Westbrook, right? Westbrook didn't have a ton of people in his corner, but his wife Nina understandably felt the need to defend her husband's honor on more than a few occasions, including the time she reached out to Kendrick Perkins' wife after taking issue with the comment his former teammate made last year. That was, to me, that just shows you how thin-skinned they both are. Why would you reach out to Kendrick Perkins' wife? It's not, you know what I'm saying? Your husband makes millions of dollars in the NBA. On Thursday, Nina pushed back against another ESPN personality after Dave McMenamin claimed a source the Lakers had told him the trade that sent Westbrook to Utah had removed a vampire from the locker room. It's safe to say that she was not thrilled about the characterization as she hopped into the comments on Instagram to bemoan the latest in a long line of personal attacks Russell and in turn she and her family have had to deal with. This is just sick, ESPN. Russell is no vampire. Listen, I'm not going to call Dave a liar, but do I believe somebody in that organization could have told him that? Yes. It probably was a player more so than a front office person. Maybe somebody in that locker room just didn't like Russell. And maybe they told Dave this. Do I think Dave is? I wouldn't say he's lying, but I could see, one of those guys that, either a player, maybe an assistant coach, may have told him something similar to that, but I don't think they called him a vampire. But these reporters are going to put things out here. They're not going to put 100% of the truth. They're just going to put most of it and then add extras, right? But of course, he's not going to tell his sources. This is also slander because anyone who knows anything knows that this couldn't be further from the truth. On a personal note, I have school-age children who have to listen to their peers repeat the nasty things that you guys say on television about their father. I guess I'll prepare myself to explain to my 5-year-old that his dad is not actually a vampire and that major news outlets only say things like that to get attention. Well, I will say this, Nina. Your son probably shouldn't be watching news channels. He should be watching more kid-friendly channels. He shouldn't really be watching ESPN if he's 5 years old, right? I think Nina is just putting on, just adding to it. Listen, your 5-year-old's in kindergarten? Come on. I just think that Russell and his wife are a little thin-skinned. That's just how it is. Now, do I agree with the personal attacks? No, I don't think Russell Westbrook should be getting personally attacked. But if people who are in that organization are calling him a vampire, then Dave is only repeating what was told to him. So Russell was with an organization with people who felt that way about him and never told him. Because that does happen, people. That does happen. Or you have teammates or coaches that, one of them may feel some type of way, so they go run to reporters to tell them. It's worth noting she was the only person who took issue with the report, as Carmelo Anthony and Chris Paul called out McMenamin and ESPN for allowing this source to remain anonymous, while Donovan Mitchell simply said, "Stop it." Carmelo's like, "Who the source?" Donovan Mitchell says, "Stop it." CP3 says, "Put a name on it." See? But they're not going to see, but these are players, right? And they have a vested interest in this because it's hard for them to believe that somebody wouldn't like Russell Westbrook. Maybe they like Russell Westbrook. Maybe they get along with him, but there were people in the Lakers who did not like him. I'm not saying that, what Dave McMenamin is saying is true. Again, these reporters do not tell 100% of the facts. They tell you most of the facts or half of the facts, and they add stuff to it. That's what I believe is going on here, right? The source probably wasn't even talking about Westbrook himself. They probably was talking about the situation, the fit, right? At least the Westbrooks can take some solace in knowing some of his fellow players have his back. Honestly, when you look at this, I think that where we are with these reporters, they all want to get a scoop. So they're going to go for the extremes. That's how guys like Dave McMenamin have a job. They go to the extremes to try to prove something. And in them proving something, they end up making it seem worse than probably what was told to them. You also got Kyle Kuzma, who is another former Laker, like Carmelo Anthony, right? Who had something to say about Dave McMenamin. He responded to this tweet. And what she had to say, he says, "Agreed. Weirdo activity. Damn shame." Like people want to know who the sources are. We want to know who it is. But again, look at, the guy that's reporting. I mean, look who he's dating. Look who he is mentoring. Because trust me, this is a mentorship that became a relationship. And he's mentoring Malika Andrews do the same thing. They try to go above and beyond to try to make things out of nothing. Honestly, man, I get that she's standing up for Russell, but Russell has been known to be thin-skinned. And when you're known as to be thin-skinned, they're going to try things to get a reaction. I don't agree with the personal attacks. This could have been worded differently by Dave McMenamin, but Dave McMenamin doesn't care because Dave McMenamin is trying to keep a job at ESPN. So he's going to say the most extreme things in order to be able to have a purpose at ESPN at the expense of Russell Westbrook. And it is good that players are calling this guy out, right? I think it's a good thing. So let me know in the comments below. Let me thoughts, like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.